I woke up to the smell of disinfectant and Tessa glaring at me like she wanted to start a fight. Look who finally decided to join the living, she snapped. Miss Kennedy, back from the brink. You really have a death wish, don't you? And for what? A man? What man? My brain felt like it was stuffed with cotton. I blinked at her. Tessa took my silence for stubbornness. Kennedy, I'm serious. Enough is enough. Landon isn't worth it. You almost died for him. And where is he? She gestured wildly at the empty room. He's in Europe, comforting his precious little obsession. Tessa's voice cracked. The anger drained out of her, replaced by something raw and terrified. She grabbed my hand. Her grip was tight, desperate. Hot tears splashed onto my skin. Kennedy, you flatlined. You actually flatlined. Please, I'm begging you. Stop chasing Landon. He's going to kill you. Was she rehearsing for a murder mystery dinner? She was being so dramatic. Tessa, what are you talking about? I asked, genuinely confused. Who is Landon? Is he an NPC? Tessa's grief froze. Her mouth formed a perfect O. I thought she didn't hear me, so I asked again. Panic flashed in her eyes. She slammed her hand on the nurse call button. Doctors swarmed the room. Penlights in my eyes. Monitors beeping. Cognitive test. The verdict. Selective amnesia. The doctor explained it in a monotone voice. My brain had engaged a defense mechanism. It deleted the trauma to protect itself. She might never remember, the doctor said. Or it could all come back tomorrow. Tessa spent the next hour pacing the room, cursing Landon's name. So, Landon was my boyfriend. I asked. The name made my chest tighten. A phantom ache. But my brain offered nothing. No images. No feelings. Logic kicked in. If my brain decided to erase him, he couldn't have been a prize. I sat back and listened as Tessa filled in the blank. She laid out the history of my pathetic behavior. The years I spent letting this guy walk all over me. Specifically, this last trip. Landon and I went out of town on business. The earthquake hit. I don't know the details, Tessa spat, pacing the floor. Landon claims he pulled you out of the rubble. Bullshit. If he saved you, why is he in Paris with Dakota right now? Why aren't you his priority? She scoffed. Toxic trash. Chapter 2. It didn't take a genius to read the room. Tessa hated this guy's gut. There's a universal girl code. If your best friend hates him, he's a walking red flag. If you don't like him, I said, then I don't like him. The words barely left my mouth when the door swung open. A man filled the frame. He was objectively attractive, tall, with a jawline sharp enough to cut glass and deep set eye. But he looked wrecked. Exhaustion hung off him like a cheap coat. The second he saw me, his lip curled into a sneer. Kennedy, look at you. You look perfectly healthy. Drop the amnesia act. It's getting old. Who the hell is this? I shot Tessa a confused look. She didn't hold back. Landon. Surprised you showed up. Why didn't you just wait until she was dead? Dead? I blinked. A bit extreme, isn't it? Then it clicked. This was Landon, the boyfriend. I scanned my brain, desperate for a file, a photo, a feeling. Nothing. Error 404. I looked at the man standing at the foot of my bed and waited for a spark. A flutter. Anything. My heart beat with a steady, boring rhythm. He was a stranger in an expensive suit. Landon walked to the bedside. He sighed, a sound heavy with performative patience, and reached for my hand. My skin crawled. I instinctively tried to pull away. Kennedy, stop punishing me, he said, tightening his grip. I know I shouldn't have pulled Dakota out first, but she's a cellist. Her hands are her life. If she gets injured, her career is over. Look at you. You're alive. You're fine. Can we please stop this tantrum? I stared at him, genuinely baffled. I wanted to tell him I wasn't acting. I wasn't making a scene. Thanks to Tessa's rant earlier, I had the cliff note. I used to be obsessed with this man. I was the Kennedy heiress who cut ties with her wealthy family to help him build a startup from a garage into an empire. And Dakota? The childhood sweetheart, the little sister, the girl who tagged along on our business trip, got lost in a rural village, and dragged us into the earthquake zone in the first place. When the ground opened up, Landon saved her. While I was unconscious in the ICU, he was on a flight to Europe to hold her hand during her tour. He only just bothered to show up. And his first move was to accuse me of faking brain damage for attention. Whatever polite curiosity I had for him evaporated. Mr. Landon, right? I really don't know you. I yanked my hand out of his grip. And please, keep your hands to yourself. Have some boundaries. I reached for the pack of wet wipes on the nightstand. I pulled one out and deliberately, thoroughly, scrubbed the skin where he had touched me. The gesture hit him like a physical slap. Landon's arrogance cracked. Panic flickered in his eyes. Kennedy, baby, don't be like this. I know I was wrong. I swear, from now on, you are my priority. Just you. I frowned, saying nothing. Tessa stepped between us, her voice dripping with venom. Landon, save it. How many times have you recited that script? Every time you hurt her, you pull this crap. Do you think Kennedy is still the same gullible idiot you can manipulate? I felt a flush of embarrassment heat my cheeks. Wow, was I really that much of a doormat before? Chapter 3. Click, click, click. The sharp, rhythmic sound of stilettos echoed from the hallway. The door pushed open to reveal the source, a petite woman in a pastel pink skirt suit that screamed innocent victim. Dakota. She looked devastated. Her face was already wet with tears before she even crossed the threshold. Landon. Oh God, Landon. She burst into sobs. This is all my fault. You shouldn't have saved me. I caused this fight between you and Kennedy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She punctuated every sorry with a deep, theatrical sob. Big, perfectly timed teardrops splashed onto the floor. She looked like a fragile flower being crushed by the world. Landon immediately shifted into protector mode. He shielded her with his body, using his thumb to gently wipe away her tears. Dakota, stop. This isn't on you. I chose to save you. You have nothing to apologize for. Tessa was vibrating with rage. She stepped forward, her voice dripping with acid. Oh, absolutely. Not your fault at all. Who drives into the middle of nowhere at midnight and gets lost? Does 911 not work on your phone? Since when is Landon the police? You just had to drag Kennedy into your mess. But sure, you're the victim. I watched the woman cowering behind Landon. Despite the waterworks and the trembling shoulders, I caught it. A flicker of triumph in her eyes. A look of arrogance that flashed for just a second. She looked at me, eyes wide and shimmering. I shouldn't have worried, Landon. I didn't mean to drag you into this, Kennedy. Please, don't let this ruin your relationship. If you're angry, I'll get on my knees. I'll beg right here until you forgive me. She buckled her knees, sinking toward the floor. Landon caught her just in time, hoisting her back up. He spun on me, barking an order like I was an unruly employee. Kennedy, don't be such a witch. She's apologizing to you. Accept it. Now. Tessa stomped her foot, ready to throw hands. She didn't know how to handle this level of gaslighting. I swung my legs off the bed. I walked up to them calmly. My expression was blank. Smack. Landon's expression softened. A smug look crossed his face. He thought I was coming to make peace. He thought I was bending the knee. Smack. My palm connected with Dakota's cheek. Hard. The sound ricocheted off the sterile white walls. I shook out my stinging wrist. If you're so desperate to apologize, shouldn't the victim decide the price? There. One slap. Consider yourself forgiven. You can get up now. Dakota froze. She touched her cheek, realized I actually hit her, and prepared to wail. I interrupted, raising a finger. Why are you crying? Wasn't your apology sincere? Or do you want to hit me back? She realized she was cornered. So, she played her ace. Her eyes rolled back, and she went limp. A perfect, melodramatic feint. She flopped like a fish. Landon lost it. I quickly calculated the odds of winning a fistfight with him. Low to moderate. Kennedy, are you insane? You're aggressive and vindictive. I knew it. You're faking this amnesia just to torture Dakota, aren't you? Keep talking, I said, leaning casually against the bed frame. If you don't drag your little childhood sweetheart out of here in 3 seconds, I'll wake her up with another slap. Tessa stepped up beside me, arms crossed, looking like a bodyguard. Landon scooped up the unconscious Dakota. His face was black with rage as he stormed out of the room. Chapter 4. Once Landon stormed out, Tessa went into full detective mode. She grilled me. Rapid-fire questions. Who was your 3rd grade teacher? Mrs. Gable. The receptionist at the firm? Betty. The one with the loud chewing. She kept going. I remembered everyone. I remembered the startup Landon and I built from a garage into a high-rise. I remembered every contract, every late night, every IPO detail. My brain had performed a surgical extraction. It cut out exactly one tumor. Landon. For the next few days, the tumor didn't visit. But my phone buzzed incessantly. Text from an unsaved number. Unsaved number. I'm letting it slide this time. But you need to apologize to Dakota. Unsaved number. She's a public figure. A cellist. If you had scratched her face, the PR nightmare would be on you. You're lucky she's forgiving. Unsaved number. Just do it for me. Drop the amnesia act. It's childish. Do you hear me? The audacity was almost impressive. Where did he get this confidence? Did he think he was the last man on earth? I didn't bother replying. Block contact.